And we're live. Good night. Happy Sunday, y'all. Tonight we we are joined by Master Liam. So I hope you can help us and just make him feel warm and welcome. Okay. Don't come at us too much. Um, we're processing. We're processing some stuff. And hubby has agreed to process this stuff live. So I'll let him give a little background because I could talk too much. Wrong word. Okay, just a little bit of background. Um, I don't even know where to start. Where do I start? Like it is just so big that I don't even know. I myself am processing, this huge elephant in our room right now that's in our space, and I'm not even sure how to deal with it. Method in this run, my family. So obviously, with that being in your family, it manifests itself in different forms. So when Liam was born, there was a concern that Liam would be autistic. Was I don't know, kind of crazy. So obviously, he's not walking on his toes anymore, but it's fine that he started and whatnot, kind of like me. And then Lisa came along and she walks on her toes as well, when she's happy and excited and whatnot, but also does not, or hasn't been making eye contact with people in general, which we talk to, if I understand you, I look at you. But it's just been, a source of concern because as the pediatrician would have said, is that if she's not speaking, if she is speaking yet, or doing certain things by a certain age, you have to get her assessed by the specialist and whatnot to see if she has a special way of learning. You understand? So that is what we're dealing with. Dion would have spoken to other people yesterday, sharing her concerns about what it could mean and whatnot. And if it is, autism, and they don't want to self-diagnose or whatnot, it is to get Liam and these probably myself tested, from me. And if that is something that would help us to relate to them better in terms of how to communicate with them, know how they think, try to understand how they think. Even with Liam, try to get him to eat like a normal child as opposed to eating, very people. I know that it is a struggle to, you come up one way, you're accustomed to doing things one way. You understand? Well, if you don't eat it, and you still be in the morning, you gotta eat it. And I'm trying to coax or whatnot. So it's just a something that is possible. I know that when you get the assessment and whatnot, I know that you will keep you updated when you come to that. So just see how that pans out. So we would have done a test, online test yesterday, online quizzes. How many ladies love online quizzes, right? So I just would have done one if you were in the same test. We got two different results. We said that I am above average. Are more likely to have autism as a behavioral trait, and she's completely normal. So as she was reading, doing her own research, you realize that certain things make sense in terms of how I respond or react in different places and areas in the conversation. So it helped her to think that she is not crazy, which you all know she is, but it helped her to think that she is not crazy. And as I've always believed, is that she's not the problem, I'm the problem. So I guess it would bring clarity for her to understand, how to deal with potentially one person, like two other people who they have the unique way of thinking that they inherited from their father and inherited from my father and so forth. So that's the other thing, again, just let them know because you feel that.
And that's a lot. That's a lot, James, for us to get enough. Are you getting enough?
I'm getting them to get this and the peanut butter and, and butter.
Okay. And pass you to Dada. So you can go and take it. In 5 minutes, we're gonna end the live and then we'll get that stuff, okay? So just be patient. Okay. Um so what have you just said is a lot to digest. It's a lot to digest. Um the internet is a very scary place, even though we're on it right now. But it's a very scary place. And when I say scary, when you find that you're facing certain challenges and you consult Dr. Google or you try to do as much research as you can, um, you tend to go to the internet because it's faster. It has so much information on there and information from many different sources, and some credible, some not so credible. You have trolls, you have people who are malicious with intent to supply information that will misguide you, mislead you. And it's very, very hard to, sift through what is real and what is not real on the internet. Um, as Javi would have slightly touched on, in terms of the self diagnosis, it's very easy to just go and look at the first page on Google after you do a little Google search about a topic, and you're not going to go past, like, the fifth link that they supply for you with information. Um, and it's a lot of information, it's a lot of reading. But if it's something that's important to you, you do some digging. So I guess here is where I will put a plug in, for anybody who is living in Barbados, anybody who may know someone locally or even internationally, because we're in the era now of technology, so we can do Zoom calls, we can do an assessment online, they can send us the information or whatever the case might be, but we just need to get clarity on the situation. I think the best thing is knowledge. Once you know what's going on, then you're able to respond in a decent manner. Um, when you don't know something, when you don't think that there is an issue, or you confront something, you tend to want to deal with it as oh, this is a normal thing. So your normal reaction would be to either get upset or get happy or whatever your default response would be in any situation. No, if you're an adult, you've been functioning as an adult, you go, you get married, you have kids, and you've never, been assessed for anything dealing with mental illness, anything dealing with a health issue. You're just living life like normal, and you are thinking yourself be normal. Your spouse is also thinking of themselves as normal, but then you're kind of clashing, you're having difficulty communicating, you're having it's just really, really trying, to kind of connect. um you're not going to go and think, oh, mental illness. You're not going to go and think, oh, this person is going through something and they're finding it difficult to express themselves, and it's a natural thing for them. You're not going to look at it as being something that you can easily diagnose and say, okay, well, you can have compassion in this area, or you can deal with this situation like this if you're given the tools to handle it. So how many divorces may have occurred because you didn't know. You didn't understand that, these things can occur and be undiagnosed, you know. Um, my grandmother, I remember my grandmother earlier today, and she showed me an article in today's newspaper, a local newspaper, the Nation newspaper, and they were focusing on autism, funny enough. So when she showed me the article, I was like, okay, why is this word coming up again? Because I must admit here, I'm just trying to run from it. Okay, I'm trying to run in the opposite direction. And the reason that I'm running in the opposite direction is because it's like, why do with this, But I'm also feeling like, what? Why not deal with this? You know, what about it is bad? What about it is not something that I can handle? But that's another story for another time, maybe in another life. But um we're processing that. So I just mentioned to her, oh well, I understand the word autism, and it's something that people are talking about now. And I may very likely be faced with that same thing right now. I just quickly mentioned that to her, and she just looked at me because her granddaughter, who is Liam's age, Liam is 4, and she just turned 4 as well, or is going to turn 4. No, she's going to turn 4 on the 28th of this month. And she is not speaking. She was born with her feet like this, so therefore she's never been able to walk flat. So she's constantly walking on her toes. Um, she doesn't engage. She doesn't, engage you eye contact. She doesn't respond to her name like that. Similar to Anetu, but the difference is like Anetu walks normally. Anetu, she still meets certain markers, But then when you're doing the research, you realize that autism has a spectrum. There are different levels, and it doesn't affect everybody the same way. Hi, baby. You want to come and mommy? You want to come down? And then also something that we were also dealing with is that whenever she cries, she vomits. So she does this thing where she gets into this passionate cry, and she just brings up every single thing that she has consumed. And we've been trying to deal with these things, and try to wrap our minds around being parents. It's a little noisy because the rain just started to fall. I love the rain. I enjoy the rain. I hope you can hear us. Maybe I would just like pause it now because it's really, really beginning to pour. And I'm not sure if you're able to hear us clearly. So just know I'm going to end the live now, but just know that that's what we're dealing with. Anybody out there with information that they can share, feel free to share the information in the comments, or you can hop over to my IG page, which is White Coach International, INTL, not the full word, but White Coach INTL. And you can always DM me there and, share a story, and say something. But we'll continue this as we continue to process this. But we'll continue this story because it's very, very interesting. And I know mental illness puts a strain on any relationship. So if it's something that you've just discovered, if it's something that you've known for a while and you're dealing with and you have tools that work for you, we will welcome, the information. You can share it with us. But we're all about success for all marriages. So just hit me up, and I'll see you in the next live that's coming up on Wednesday. Bye.